The Positive Side is presented by Infinity of Scottsdale. For over 20 years, Infinity of Scottsdale continues to provide the finest Infinity sales and service. Visit infinityofscottsdale.com. Welcome to The Positive Side, where I'm going to bring you a little bit of life, sports, and entertainment. So sit back and relax. It's showtime. Welcome to The Positive Side. Hi, I'm your host, Roy Garibaldi, and you better sit back and get ready for some real rock and roll, because we're here at the Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. And this rock legend, Hall of Famer for 11 years, has produced Christmas Pudding, all to benefit his solid rock foundation. You know, when I say back in the days, about 11, 12 years ago, when I was just doing a radio show called The Positive Side of Sports, this rock and roller would come on the radio with me because he loves sports. But now that the TV show is the positive side of life, sports, and entertainment, this rock and roller demonstrates all three of those, and I'm talking about Alice Cooper.
Thank you, man.
Hey, I tell you, Alice, first of all, I don't know if a lot of people just realize what a giving person that you and Cheryl and the rest of your family are here in this community.
Well, you know, I grew up here. I went to high school. I went to elementary school, high school, and college here. The band started here. We started in high school. We were all on the track team. I mean, so sports and rock and roll to us was synonymous. We would be running, you know, miles and 2 miles and 3 mile runs and then go to rehearse.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I mean, but people didn't realize it was this dastardly band, Alice Cooper. We're all four-year lettermen.
Oh my.
And nobody would understand. You know, they went, what? You know, all the guys in the band were athletes. So we were maybe the most wholesome band. We were more wholesome than the Monkees. You know,
you really were.
Except that
really
our image was this, you know,
right,
horrific thing.
Did you ever think that you'd be rocking and doing what you have been doing for this long?
Nobody. Our generation, you know, I was just talking to Rob Halford about this. I said the reason why the music keeps going on, Judas Priest and Alice Cooper and Ozzy and stuff, is because we were closer to the Beatles. We listened to the Beatles. We learned from the Beatles. We learned to write those melodies like the Beatles, and then we just made it harder and made it more theatrical and made it more interesting. You know, the Beatles were the primo band of all time. They were, you know, they were like the prototype.
Sure, sure.
So the bands get further and further away from the Beatles. It started getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and so a lot of the younger bands, they've lost track of songwriting. Right. And that's why, you know, the classic rock, every 15-year-old kid in the world knows The Doors.
Oh, yeah.
And Jimi Hendrix, and, you know.
You know, it's amazing to watch you during sound check and to see how involved you are and to see it's what I call authentic, real rock and roll, real music.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Not monstrous yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just reference. We would do muscle?
Yeah, let's do muscle. Okay, come up here.
Michael! Bye! I didn't break it. I give you guys. Left Lucy, right tighty, bud. Bill, go ahead again.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fire.
Today's music, for me growing up, a Stones fan, the Beatles, the Kinks, I mean, you go back and forth there, but when you listen to the music today, I feel like there's so much that's being missed.
You can't just write a riff and a lyric. You have to make it a song. You have to make it a verse, a B section, a chorus, and make it make sense. You know, you have to marry the lyrics to that chord, and that's all in the art of songwriting. I work with Bob Ezra, and I work with Desmond Child, I work with Diane Warren, I work with people that are real songwriters, and then you bring what you want to say into it, and you write songs. It's interesting when I get young bands, and they go, okay, and I say, boy, your image is great. I get it, you're angry, you know. I said, but there's no song here. I said, you understand? You're yelling at me. You're angry. I get it. Now write me a song that's angry, but make it a song.
It has some meaning.
Make it a song that makes me go, wow, you're right, you know? But right now, all I'm hearing is a riff, a drum beat, and you're angry. It's not gonna, 2 months from now, nobody's gonna care. But make that something that I can hang my hat on, that I can remember, that's a song then.
I think that's what makes this Solid Rock Foundation Teen Center, to me, so intriguing, because when you know, I lost my brother to drugs when I was 18. He was only 16 years old. He just didn't know the right people to hang out with. And today, Alice, there are so many distractions. There's a lot of kids that get lost, and it's so easy to get lost today.
It is. Well, the ante is up on everything. I'm thinking when I was in high school, and I'm not trying to be the old man, when I was in high school, but when I was in high school, if you got busted, it was for beer. Now a kid the same age gets busted for heroin.
Right.
The ante's way up on that. If you get in a fight, and when I was a kid, you had a bloody nose and a black eye, and so did the other guy, and the next day there was a little respect.
Sure.
Now somebody drives by your house with a machine gun.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, the ante is up on everything. You know, so the kids are at more risk now than they've ever been. You know, that's why you need something, an alternative. If you're going to have all that energy and you're going to do something with it, learn the guitar.
Sure, sure.
That's going to take more time than you've ever believed that, you know.
And with the Teen Center, it's kind of cool that it's not just about music. You had mentioned about lighting, production,
everything,
and learning how to shoot. This way, a kid has a chance to really fall into something that they love doing.
That's right. We're going to put a recording studio into this place. If you go into a place, and I tell everybody, it takes 5 of us to get on stage and play. It takes 25 to get this show up and going. In other words, I can't do this show without those other 20 people.
Absolutely.
Because the lighting, the sound, the fog, the this and this, and it all is timed. And they have to know exactly how to get it. The guys that get the amps there, and the guys that get them set up, and the guys that get them the sound every night. I mean, that's an art. Oh, yeah.
That's why when you see these guys during sound check, it's like one big family, isn't it?
It is. And in my show, everybody that's on that stage, if you're behind the stage, you're in the show. You're either the executioner, or you're the guy that gets Alice into the guillotine in costume. The guy that drives the truck, I go, you're the Chinese assassin tonight. What?
You're the guy.
Get in costume, let's go. You know, everybody realized it's like the old circus. The guy that sold you the ticket outside was also the tightrope walker and sold you popcorn. You know, so everybody has not just, I'm not just the truck driver, I'm also this.
How cool is it to sit down with a Hall of Fame rock legend like Alice Cooper and be as humble as he is? But when we come back, he's going to share with us his Christian faith and his goals for taking the Solid Rock Foundation to another level. The Positive Side is presented by Ganem Jewelers, featuring Knight Rider. The Positive Side is presented by Burns Pest Elimination. That's right, I said eliminating. They're not controlling, they're eliminating those pesky pests with your satisfaction guaranteed. Welcome back to The Positive Side, as we're backstage here at the Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. With Alice Cooper, the one thing he never forgets is where he came from, what it took to get here, when he shares his Christian faith and his goals for his Solid Rock Foundation.
I take Alice Cooper, the character, seriously. I don't take him seriously in my daily life. I mean, I take the music, the show, everything about Alice seriously when I'm playing it. But when I'm just, you know, going golfing, I don't even think about Alice Cooper. You know, it doesn't even occur to me, you know. Most of the time people have to remind me that I'm Alice Cooper.
When you first did Christmas pudding, did you think you'd make it to the 11th year and it would grow to be what it is today?
I always wanted the Christmas pudding to be a tradition, an Arizona tradition. 20 years from now, I want it to still be a tradition. You know, I want it to be the Christmas show. I'll be in June in England, and somebody will say, "Who's in the pudding this year?"
Really?
You know, and I go, "Well, I know." And I try to get a different group of guys every year. You know,
That's what makes it special. You have one of the prettiest guitar players in the country.
Oriente, yeah.
But she can play.
Oh man, she could play like that when she was 14. She's like 26 now. She could play with Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Keith Richards, anybody. You put her in there and she'll just play. But, you know, she's a rocker. She just really gets it, you know.
You know, growing up, and I hate to say that because we're pretty close. How old are you?
I'm 41, 63.
All right, I'm 55. And you know what? Being a musician, it was like, man, Alice Cooper, like that is the big deal there. And I thought, you think I could ever have something in common with him one day? So I finally got something in common with him. Knight Rider, okay? Look at this, Knight Rider.
That's
See
right.
that? That's unbelievable. You know what's great? As a Christian man, you and Cheryl aren't afraid to let people know who you are.
No.
And I really respect you for that.
Well, you know, I mean, you know, I've got nothing to hide there. I mean, I'm proud of it. In fact, when people say, "Are you a Christian?" I go, "Boy, I sure try to be," you know, because it's not the easiest thing in the world. You know, to live up to actually being a Christian is
it's a day-to-day job, isn't
It's
it?
a day-to-day,
Yeah.
every day. And I'm in a business that doesn't necessarily promote that.
Sure.
You know, but, you know, I tell people, I said, you know, being a Christian is something that's a one-on-one relationship.
Right.
I said, and it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that I can't be a rock and roll singer. It doesn't say it. In fact, it says if you're going to do it great, because you're representing, you know. So, you know, I mean, you know, I study every day, and I have my whole world, my boundaries of where I will go, where I won't go, you know.
You know the right people to take care of. In a movie with Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
you were nice enough to give him some Knight Rider.
Yeah.
He showed up on the front cover of Vanity Fair. I bet you that blew your mind.
Well, you know, everybody in the cast, I all got them something from Knight Rider.
Sure.
I got Michelle Pfeiffer a bracelet, I think, and I got Helen Bonham Carter something, and everybody, and I just picked out things that I thought they would like. And the next thing I know, he's wearing it on the cover, and I looked at it and went, "Oh, that's great."
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something obviously they love. And to top it off, you have this rare belt buckle that they actually took your coat and cut it out
Yeah.
in order to fit it.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like that
They
before.
made two of them, actually. They made, the very first one was 10 years ago. The one I've worn on stage every time for 10 years. And then they made me a new one.
Oh.
It's a pure silver. And I mean, it's
All right.
really beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How much longer will you go? Do you have a set in your mind a little bit, Alice? It just when you feel it's time.
You know, I made this comment, and it got worldwide publicity. I said, Mick Jagger's 5 years older than me. When he stops, I've got 5 more years. Because I want to at least match, you know, his list. And I was kidding. Now everybody holds me to it. They said Mick Jagger might go to his 80, and I go, well, then I got to go to 85.
Well, I commend you for everything you've done, and the Solid Rock Foundation, to me, is really, you know, I look at you as a musician, I look at you as an entertainer, but I look at you as somebody who has set the bar high for other people to understand that the time that you give sometimes is more than just writing a check.
Well,
And to be able to educate these kids, to me, is just, it's priceless.
well, you're never going to run out of kids in trouble. That's for one thing, you know. And if you can give them an alternative, what they've gotten right now is their history is already written. If they stay where they are, they're jail or dead, really early.
Wow.
You know, and honestly, that's not an exaggeration. Some of them get out, but you see these kids and you see them and you go, I know where that kid's going to end up, and I know if he's not dead, he's going to be in jail. Why not give him an alternative to that? You know, and I guarantee you, there's some kid out there right now on the street that doesn't even know he's a great guitar player, and he might have a natural ability. You know, you got to at least say, try it. You know.
If you missed out on Christmas pudding this year, you missed out on one big Christmas party. You know what? We don't get variety shows anymore. And this is the one time a year you can get involved with a Christmas variety show with Alice Cooper, Cheryl, and his entire family. I gotta tell you, mark it on your calendar for next year if you missed it this year.
Night Rider, now at the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall.
The positive side is presented by R&S Mattress, featuring Tuck Me In, where R&S Mattress is looking for some needy children to make a difference and give them the bedding they need for a good night's sleep. This Alice Cooper special is brought to you by Infinity of Scottsdale. Welcome back to the positive side. As you can see, we're in the dressing room here at the Comerica Theater in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, as we get ready for Alice and Cheryl Cooper's 11th annual Christmas pudding, and it's time to rock and roll with some big names.
I've gone to Christmas pudding as just a paid patron for years and come here and watched it. I've been a fan of Alice Cooper since I was in junior high school. School's Out was my theme song every summer when we got out of school, so I've always been a fan. I started researching the solid rock and thought it was a great foundation and a great opportunity to actually help. And so now I feel a lot of satisfaction in being able to do that.
Well, we got no class, and we got no principles, and we got no innocence. We can't even.
Great show tonight. Rob Halford, Chris Bliss. Have you seen Chris Bliss? Chris Bliss is a comedian, and he juggles. I won't tell you anything more, but he juggles to music that'll blow your mind. The Tubes will be here tonight. Orianthi, the greatest female guitarist in the world, is playing here tonight. And I'm going to be begging people for money at halftime to buy these signed guitars. Go on. Somebody will beat you. It's all right. You'll look good doing it.
Always a great cause, and I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Let's get some guys out here and do some music. We got some guys out there and do some music.
And here we are at the end of the 11th annual Christmas pudding. Best Christmas pudding to date. I don't know how we're going to top this next year, but the snow is falling. We'll be picking it out of our hair for the next 24 hours. And what a night. I mean, nobody could have had a better variety of music, comedy, dancing, and just sheer rock and roll. Merry Christmas.
We had a great time. Can't wait till next year. Have no idea who's going to be on the show next year, but I still got to thank everybody that took a little time out of their Christmas to come here and help the kids in Arizona. Thank you.
Rock and roll.
What a performance. And all made possible because Alice and Cheryl Cooper want to give back and make a difference for kids. So for myself, Roy Garibaldi, the entire Solid Rock Foundation family, and Alice and Cheryl Cooper, why don't you go out and make it a positive 2012.
One more after him.
I had one girl one time, she goes, will you sign my arm? And I go, yeah. She said, will you sign this arm for my friend? What?
All right, go ahead. Welcome to the pop. There's a bug. I got him. That sucker would never withstand my breath. Dead. Here we go. Okay, start again, so. Oh, that was good.
There's all kinds of shenanigans going in there. Santa Claus has lost his mind. But thanks for joining us. Keep an eye on us tonight, and we are going to party. Santa, this guy.
Cheryl came over the night before last, calls me up, and she goes, I have your Christmas present for you. I said, chicken salad. She goes, I make it every year, don't I? She came over with the chicken salad with the walnuts and the grapes. And it's probably one of the greatest treats in the history of life. What more can you say about a woman that makes and delivers chicken salad?
Go stage left, right now.
Yeah, okay, good. We could use him. Yeah. Good guitar player.
She's got a great voice.
It's hard to play with her and not look and stop playing. Yeah. Just stop playing.
Might have happened a couple times.
It actually happened.
A lot of.
That's right, the positive side. Go out and make it a great week. The positive side has been brought to you by Infinity of Scottsdale.